You're watching South Asian Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 26th of March. India-China hold diplomatic talks, review border situation. Activists in Netherlands, UK and Balochistan protest Pakistani crackdown on BYC leaders. And Bangladesh chief advisor warns of rising disinformation amid political unrest. And now for all the details. India and China have agreed to work together to make the substantial preparation for the next meeting of their special representatives on the boundary question that is set to be held in New Delhi later this year. The decision was taken at a fresh edition of the talks held in Beijing on Tuesday under the framework of Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs. The two sides also exchanged views on early resumption of cross-border cooperation and exchanges, including on trans-border rivers and Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. The Ministry of External Affairs said that the WMCC meeting was held in a positive and a constructive atmosphere, and both sides comprehensively reviewed the situation along the line of actual control. The MES said peace and tranquility on the border are critical for the smooth development of overall bilateral relations. Earlier in March, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed optimism about India's relationship with China, emphasizing the importance of learning from each other and understanding one another. Discussions are ongoing between Islamabad and Beijing about different security measures to protect Chinese nationals working in Pakistan, the country's top diplomat to Beijing said on Tuesday. Talking to reporters on the sidelines of Boao Forum in China's Hainan province, Pakistan's ambassador to China, Khalil Hashmi, informed about the development, adding it is Pakistan's national responsibility to ensure safety, for which the country is doing everything possible. I think our two countries work very closely in terms of information sharing, in terms of developing the standard operating procedures to ensure Chinese nationals working in Pakistan are safe, he said. Hashmi further said the situation is complex, but added Pakistan has capabilities to resolve and counter the terror threats. Chinese nationals have been in crosshairs of separatist militants who believe Beijing is helping Pakistan exploit minerals in the underdeveloped province of Balochistan, where China has a strategic port and mining interest. Frustrated by the string of attacks on its citizens, Beijing has been pushing Pakistan to allow its own security staff to provide protection to thousands of Chinese citizens working there. And protests have erupted in Balochistan and across the globe against the arrest of Baloch activists and the crackdown on peaceful protesters in the region by Pakistani authorities. A report.
The Baloch National Movement staged protests in Amsterdam and London on Tuesday against the arrest and torture of Baloch Ekjehti Committee leaders, including Dr. Maharang Baloch and Bebagr Baloch, by Pakistani authorities, and the atrocities in Balochistan. The protesters carried placards and images of forcibly disappeared individuals, condemning ongoing human rights violations in Balochistan. The activists highlighted the recent crackdown on a peaceful BYC rally in Shal, where Pakistani forces opened fire on Baloch demonstrators, resulting in 3 deaths and numerous injuries. Meanwhile, protests have also erupted in parts of Balochistan over the arrest of Maharang Baloch and several other activists who were allegedly taken to an undisclosed location with communication networks disrupted in the region. Activists have long criticized the Pakistani state for its systematic repression in Balochistan, where enforced disappearances have continued for decades.
Afghan female athletes have made a global plea for unity and support for gender equality in sports, particularly in their home country. The call to action highlights the struggle for gender equity in sports under the current regime in Afghanistan, with a specific focus on the difficulties faced by the female athletes. In 2020, Afghanistan had 25 contracted women football players, most of whom are now in Australia. The present Taliban regime insists they respect women's rights according to their interpretation of Islamic law and local customs. But this has raised concerns on the global stage about the future of women's sports in the country.
I would like to request through this platform from all athletes around the world, especially women, to just come out on their social medias with just 1-minute video announcing their support from this movement and announcing their support from the gender equality and announcing their support for the women of Afghanistan.
We continuously want to be the voices, and our platform is sport. And together with everyone, with the media, with individuals, with organizations, and with governing bodies, and including FIFA, because this fight is not like, we are not fighting against FIFA or any other organization. We want collaboration. We want to work together to find the best solutions, as using Afghanistan as an example to make sure the other countries, the other nations don't face what we have faced.
Amid heightened political tension and reports of probable coup, Bangladesh chief advisor to the interim government, Muhammed Yunus, has said attempts are being made to mislead the people by spreading false information. Yunus, in an address to the nation on the eve of Independence Day of Bangladesh, said that since the interim government took office, a massive campaign of rumors has been running on media platforms and social media sites through novel methods. He warned as the election drew nearer, the intensity of such rumors are likely to escalate. You all know who is behind it and why, the chief advisor said, adding that disinformation is the most significant weapon of the defeated forces against the July protest, a veiled reference against ousted PM Sheikh Hasina and her Awami League. The comments come amid media reports of growing tensions in Bangladesh with the newly formed National Citizen Party led by a key protester which ousted Hasina, accusing the military of political interference. Media reports have also suggested the possibility of a military coup against Yunus, accusations that have been denied by the Bangladesh army.
অন্তর্বর্তী সরকার দায়িত্ব নেবার পর থেকেই গণমাধ্যম ও সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ায় গুজবের জন্য এক মহোৎসব চলছে। দেশকে অস্থিতিশীল করার জন্য একের পর এক মিথ্যা তথ্য ছড়িয়ে দিয়ে জনগণকে বিভ্রান্ত করার চেষ্টা চলছে। অভিনব সব প্রক্রিয়ায় গুজব ছড়ানো হচ্ছে। এক ছবির সঙ্গে অন্য ছবি জুড়ে দেওয়া হচ্ছে। ঘটনা একটা, ছবি আরেকটা। এরকম ফটোকার্ড বানিয়ে অন্য দেশের ঘটনাকে এই দেশের ঘটনা হিসেবে চালিয়ে দিয়ে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ায় তোলপাড় করে ফেলছে। যতই নির্বাচন কাছে আসবে, এর রূপ আরো ভয়ঙ্কর হতে থাকবে। কারা এর পেছনে আছে, কেন আছে, তা আপনাদের সবারই জানা আছে।
Protests erupted in Kathmandu on Tuesday after student unions took to the streets following the dismissal of Nepal Electricity Authority chief Kulman Ghising. Demonstrators, angry over his removal, clashed with Nepal police near the parliament as they attempted to breach restricted zones. The protesters, including members of the All Nepal National Independent Students Union Revolutionary and the All Nepal National Free Students Union Unified Socialists, also burned an effigy of Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli, blaming him for Ghising's ouster. The unrest followed the cabinet's decision on Monday evening to relieve Ghising of his post. He was replaced by Hitendra Dev Shakya, who had previously led the NEA. Despite his unresolved legal battle challenging his earlier removal, Shakya has returned to the role. His reappointment has faced sharp public backlash, as Ghising is widely credited with transforming Nepal's power sector and ending the nation's notorious 18-hour daily power cuts. Under Ghising's leadership, the NEA turned a profit of over $108 million in last fiscal year, a significant improvement from a $66.68 million loss in 2015-16. Protesters claimed Ghising's dismissal was politically motivated and blamed the energy minister for pressurizing him through interference in NEA operations. Demonstrators have vowed to continue protest until Ghising is reinstated. The Winter Games Association of Jammu and Kashmir hosted a skiing championship in Gulmarg town earlier this week. The championship included alpine and Nordic skiing and snowboarding. Gulmarg, at an altitude of 8,500 feet, is a popular tourist destination due to its picturesque beauty and adventure sports, especially during winters. Apart from skiing, sledge rides and cable car rides are popular among visitors. Parihan Pirzada from Bandipora district bagged 2 gold medals for slalom and giant slalom alpine skiing in the competition.
कंपटीशन बहुत टफ था, स्लोप्स भी काफ़ी बम्पी थे, और लेकिन हमने अपना बेस्ट दिया और मेडल्स लेके आए.
जो 12 साल के हैं, 10 साल के हैं, 14 साल के हैं, 15 साल के हैं, तो उसमें एक अच्छी खासी जो इम्प्रूवमेंट हमने देखी है, एक एनकरेजमेंट हमारे लिए है कि उसमें से हमारे जो आगे जो बड़े बड़े इवेंट्स होने जा रहे हैं उनमें उनका फ्यूचर है। तो उन पे हमारा ये एक पहल होगी कि हमारी जो तवज्जो होगी वो उन पे हम करेंगे ताकि वो आने वाले सालों में एक अच्छे जो नेक्स्ट लेवल के प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं उनके लिए वहाँ तक पहुँचे वो।
That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.